Welcome to Taking Care of Ourselves, Sawtooth Mountain Clinic's topic of the month. This month we'll be discussing health halos and horns. Are they rightful reputations or needless notoriety? We've all seen the ads, articles, and social media posts enticing us to try a new magic bullet or cautioning us about unsuspected dangers. Health halos or horns means that something is perceived as being good or bad for you, even if there's little or no evidence to back this up. This month, we'll explore common halos and horns and how you can verify health claims for yourself. Americans spend close to $50 billion a year on supplements. That's more than we spend on over-the-counter medications. Supplements are generally taken either as a form of nutritional insurance, in the hope that they'll lead to better health in some way, or for a specific purpose, such as to build muscle or boost immunity. But not all supplements deserve their health halo. Supplements are not FDA approved for safety or effectiveness, and there are no standards for combinations of ingredients or doses. Being a savvy supplement consumer means doing your homework first. Superfoods. This is a marketing term with no scientific basis or regulatory definition. Foods with this label actually are often quite nutrient-dense, but they're also publicized as having health benefits above and beyond nutrition, or they're credited with the prevention of disease. These foods are frequently seen as being exotic in some way, and you'll almost always end up paying a premium for them. In reality, all vegetables, fruits, whole grains, beans, peas, legumes, nuts, and seeds are foods that are super. Choose what you like and can afford. Eat plenty of them. Experiment with new ones when you can, and don't worry about the spendy stuff if you don't want to. Check out one of our previous topics of the month, Humble Heroes, to learn more about the secret superpowers of everyday foods. Natural sweeteners. Ironically, sugar is both recognized as contributing to a variety of health issues and consumed in enormous quantities. Natural sweeteners claim to provide the sweetness we crave without the perceived dangers of sugar or artificial substitutes. But remember, there's no health advantage to consuming any type of added sugar, whether it's natural or not. Take agave nectar, for example. In the glow of its golden health halo, it's seen as being natural, unprocessed, and safer for people with diabetes. In reality, it's a highly processed food that has had any health benefits of the raw sap destroyed, while creating a sweetener that's nutritionally similar to high fructose corn syrup. Like all sugars, it's best used only occasionally and only in small amounts. Other not-so-healthy health foods. Food marketers of every stripe rely on health halos to sell products. So watch out for snack bars. Whether it's called granola, protein bars, energy bars, these are usually just camouflaged candy. Be careful. Even those featuring whole grains and fruits can be sugar bombs. Granola and other breakfast cereals. Mix oats, fruits, nuts, and seeds, and you've got a tasty source of important nutrients. Drench it in sugar, and you've got dessert disguised as breakfast. Yogurt. Advertised as being a source of gut-healthy probiotics, it can be a nutritious choice. If you're not careful, though, it can often be a source of spoonfuls of sugar. whole grain bread. Unless the very first ingredient on the list is 100% whole something, it's really just a package of white bread. Health halos aren't the only inaccuracies that we need to watch out for. Undeserved health horns can create unnecessary concerns. We can end up wasting time and energy avoiding things that are harmless, or worse yet, needlessly shunning things that can actually be helpful. So what are some things that have health horns? Let's start with processed food. In this age of clean eating, processed food can get a bad rap. The vast majority of food that we eat needs to be processed in some way. Cut, cooked, canned, fortified, frozen, etc. None of these steps necessarily decrease nutrient content. In fact, in some cases, processing can preserve or free up nutrients that would otherwise be unavailable to our bodies. However, there's a big difference between processed whole food and ultra-processed food. Sometimes you'll see it abbreviated as UPF. Ultra-processed food contains little or no whole food and is made primarily from edible substances that have been extracted, derived, or synthesized from other foods, such as fats and hydrogenated fats, starches, and added sugars. They often also contain additives such as artificial colors and flavors or stabilizers. Consumption of ultra-processed foods has been linked to higher rates of obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, depression, cancer, kidney, and liver diseases. Frighteningly, more than 60% of the food that Americans eat now falls into the ultra-processed category. In this case, the health horns on ultra-processed foods are entirely justified. What about chemicals? Everything we eat, drink, touch, taste, smell, or see is made up of chemicals. Chemical-free anything is impossible. What marketers want us to ignore is the fact that regardless of where a chemical comes from, its properties are the same. That's why synthesized vitamin C works and is the same as vitamin C from an orange. Natural, and how is that even defined, is not always safer, gentler, or more effective, and manufactured is not always inferior, dangerous, or harsh. Medications and vaccinations can be prime examples of human-created, life-saving substances. The appeal to nature tactic can be used to put health horns on lots of things that are really very safe. For instance, consider monosodium glutamate, MSG. MSG is a flavor-enhancing additive that people have been undeservedly trash-talking for over 50 years. It's made from an amino acid that occurs naturally in foods such as meat, tomatoes, and cheese. It provides umami, a rich, savory taste. Decades of research have proven it to be a safe way to increase flavor while decreasing overall sodium content. Our food is not the only place where health horns can mistakenly sway us. Substances that we put on and in our bodies can be inaccurately perceived too. For instance, aluminum. Many natural deodorants are prominently labeled as being aluminum-free. Initial concern sprang from one study done in the 1960s that's never been able to be replicated. In fact, there is no data that supports any health risks associated with aluminum in deodorants. Why? because the aluminum just temporarily plugs up sweat glands. It can't be absorbed into or impact your body in any way. So how can we spot the health halos and horns? We could also title this, How Do We Learn to Cut the Crap? CRAAP, CRAP, is an acronym that can help us to wade through all kinds of confusing information by pausing to examine 5 things. First, currency. How current is the information? Some data doesn't change much over time, but some changes rapidly. Second, relevancy. Does the information actually meet your needs? Is it answering the question that you're asking? And have you checked several sources to find accurate answers? A is authority. Who is the source of the information? What are the qualifications and credentials of the source? The second A is accuracy. Is the information backed up with solid evidence, and can you find the sources of that evidence? And lastly, P, purpose. Why does this information exist? Is it to inform, to teach, to sell, to entertain, or persuade? There's a lot more to learn about crap, and there are other ways that you can protect yourself by separating health facts from health fiction. To learn more, check out one of our past topics of the month. It's entitled Informational Winnowing. You'll find it and all our other topics of the month on our website, www.sawtoothmountainclinic.org. There are over 60 issues now, and they cover a wide range of health topics. Thank you for listening.